JaQuinn Bruton was born April 8th, 2008, to a woman by the name of Ashley. In March of 2011, Ashley and her kids would have to move into a homeless shelter. Ashley and Nadera Baston would have a fight, who was the godmother, would have a fight over custody of JaQuinn. Nadera was born on November 28th, 1988. She'd had theft charges back from 2007. She had been with a man by the name of Marcus King since 2009. Marcus King was born on February 24th, 1988. Nadera and Marcus would proceed to go live with Ashley and her kids. Once they got out of said shelter, eventually they move out and they take JaQuinn with them. JaQuinn, of course, being a kid, he would touch things that he wasn't supposed to, and Nadera would basically choke him as punishment. Marcus, being the boyfriend, he basically apparently had noticed burns at the bottom of JaQuinn's feet, and so he would apply burn cream to them instead of taking them to the hospital, so that way he wouldn't get in trouble for the burns on JaQuinn's feet. At one point, it said that Nadera had actually put a blowtorch across JaQuinn's butt because apparently JaQuinn had apparently pooped on the floor. The blowtorch had apparently came from Marcus's job. They put him in the tub, and apparently as a result of the burns, skin had came off. And then of course they put burn cream on it because I guess they thought, so that way they didn't have to go to the hospital. And it said that for about an hour, for at least 4 times a week, Nadera would basically play loud music while abusing JaQuinn, basically trying to cover up the sounds of her abusing him. However, neighbors were apparently still able to hear the abuse going on, and at one point, one of the neighbors had actually went over to try to get to turn the music down. Another point where apparently this same neighbor had apparently actually heard Nadera on the phone basically saying, "This little motherfucker shitting the bed." So then he makes an anonymous report to Department of Human Services, and then he also makes a text to the landlord, hoping that the landlord could stop the abuse. In June of 2011, JaQuinn would essentially keep getting out of bed, I guess, during the night. And of course, Nadera would basically make him try to get back into the bed. On the fateful day of June 29th, 2011, JaQuinn is found in only his diaper on the 4th floor. Nadera basically says that JaQuinn had basically fell down the stairs, got up, and then slumped. And then JaQuinn would sadly die 2 weeks later on July 11th. And what they do find around the house is several lighters and a torch. And so Nadera actually winds up getting a plea deal of 30 to 60 years, which she rejects. Marcus actually winds up accepting a plea deal on the charge of 3rd degree. In exchange, you have to testify against Nadera. So of course he accepts his plea deal because I guess they couldn't find proof that he was abusing JaQuinn. And so Nadera actually winds up getting 57 years, and Michael winds up getting 10 to 20.